Thank you guys for watching my reptile channel. If you're a fan of my videos, please go ahead and like my videos. It helps spread my channel. And comment down below. I love that interaction. If you want to hit the bell, you can be notified of when I post a video, which is great. I also have a Patreon, so if you want to support, it's down below. Right, guys? Thank you. I can always rely on one. Bum, bum, bum. We're already back with another bearded dragon cohabitation episode. Spoiler alert, guys, if you don't know, some of these episodes have been filmed before. The project's been ongoing for quite a while now. We're about 6 months in of 24/7 filming, even at night with night vision, to really see how these things interact and what they do. It's just actually been a pretty positive study in terms of how they are in captivity. And actually, I'm shocked by the number of people who have reached out to me. Over 50. They've been cohabbing multiple females, 2 or more. One guy was even up to 6 for years. These are females now that are in their mid to late teens. Never a problem. And I think, guys, isn't that the... let's go down here for this. Isn't that really the reasoning? Hi, Clementine. Isn't that really the reasoning for this? Is, you know... We're often told you can't cohab them because they could fight. They could fight. Well, what is the chance that they could fight? She's down there. She's brumating. Here's Phoenix. What is the chance that it can actually fight? You know, if let's say you had 100 pairs of bearded dragons cohabbing, and out of every 100, there's one fight. So that's 1%. Would you then say it's still safe to cohab? Or would you say it's not? I would say that it is. And then are there benefits? So those are things that I'm looking into. And I really want to show off doing it myself. Now, spoiler alert, I already know the answer if it's okay to cohab females and things to look for. But I want to take you on this journey. And what is she doing down here? And she ate her dinner and she went down there. She may be getting ready to brumate as well. And so I'll take you on this journey, and really, I want to pose these questions to you guys so you can start thinking with your own minds rather than something you've read on a forum or on a Facebook group, which you might as well, they're all useless. Bearded Dragon Facebook groups, they might all be useless. But so these are things that we want to pose the questions and then show you actual video of what happens and what can happen, and then also the percentages of things that are likely to happen. We've all read, you can't do it because A, B, C, or D can happen. Or some people flat out incorrectly say they will happen. Okay. Percentage of times they'll happen? No. How often? Nope. What are actual results? No. So those things are important, and we should ask about those. We should know about those. So, oh gosh, she's riled up. So, keeping that in mind, let's go in. Because again, if something happens every 1 out of 100 times, 1 out of 500, 1 out of 1,000, shouldn't that mean we should still do it, right? Yeah, we should. So, let's talk about brumation when cohabitating. It's very rare that your bearded dragons will go into brumation at the very same time, or even close. And it's very rare that they will come out of brumation at the same time. And it's very rare that their brumation will be the same way. So what does that mean? Well, brumation, guys, it's not hibernation. This is just going to be a small thing. I have many videos on brumation, 2 or 3 on my channel. You can just search for it. Brumation, remember, the bearded dragon is going to rest to save energy, build up energy for the upcoming year, okay? They're not doing it for a loss of food. They're not doing it for a change in temperature. They do it around the end of the year, drop in barometric pressure. That's how they know it's the end of the year. And they're doing it to conserve energy for the, oh, here comes Phoenix, for the upcoming year. Pretty natural. Your bearded dragon may not brumate. It may brumate for a week. It may brumate for 6 months, somewhere in between. All mine do it start at different times. Archimedes is in full brumation. Mongo's done with his brumation. Johnny Cage is just going into brumation. Mr. Freeze shows no signs of brumation currently. Clementine's in brumation, been in for a couple weeks. Phoenix may just be getting ready for brumation. So, those are things to know, rough things about brumation. So, what do you do when you're cohabitating? Because what happens when you have one going into brumation and one not? You need to make sure you have two dark areas or a very large dark area where these dragons can be and not disturb each other. So Clementine chose to go in that cave. She's a little bit smaller. That cave's huge. It fits an adult Beardy. So she, full size, 2.5 feet. She goes in there and she's good. Phoenix has not gone in there once. This is actually the first time in a while she's gone under the log hide. She's just been up top here, or she poops here every time when she has to poop. So you keep those brumation areas available, but still space. That way, if the other bearded dragon is active, in this case Phoenix is, she's got a lot of the tank, even on the outside here, upside all, that she can brumate and not disturb the brumating dragon. Also, the hides have to be big enough, that way if they both choose to go in and brumate at the same time, or even just sleep in general, they could fit 2 dragons, potentially, if you have 2. If you have 3 or 4, you would need to make it larger, right? So that the dark areas are big enough if they're both going to be brumating in at the same time. That way they can both do it comfortably. You still continue to offer food to the one that's not brumating, and you just leave the one that's brumating alone. Super simple. Nothing is difficult. And that's all brumation is when you have 2 of these guys. You just make sure there's enough room, and if one goes in, you just take care of the one that's not brumating, and you leave the one that's brumating alone. Simple, not difficult. I hope you guys are enjoying this series. I know this is only episode 2 for you guys, but I've been capturing a lot of stuff with night vision, and let me tell you, everyone who says these things of this will happen, they've almost all been wrong on my channel. All the naysayers, they've been about 99.9% wrong. Shocking, isn't it, though? When you have people who maybe have one bearded dragon or have no bearded dragons, but they read online somewhere, the friend of a friend of a friend of a friend read a forum post 10 years ago, and someone put the potentials of fights happening. Now, don't get me wrong, like I said, a fight could occur. A fight could occur between me and my brother living in the same house. We don't, by the way, I have my own home. But these are things that we want to study. The other last argument, guys, and I'll touch this more, is in the wild, they do XYZ. Spoiler alert, they're not in the wild. So is the care that we give them in an enclosure different than how they would survive on their own in the wild? It is, but we're going to hit that in episode 3 of Co-habbing. Take care, everyone. Thank you guys for supporting my reptile rescue family.